My name is Christina Forbart and I was born in Košice. I left my birth town in 1989, just before the wall fell. With my parents we emigrated to Germany and I grew up in Germany, in North Rhine-Westphalia. I got a scholarship from the Deutsches Kulturforum Östliches Europa. I stayed in Košice as a city writer for 5 months. I came in the end of March and I worked as a city writer of Košice till the end of August. My task was to write articles in Košice, to approach this region in eastern Slovakia to Germany and somehow to develop an intercultural dialogue. For me it was really, I think that it was good working because somehow when I said that I'm from Košice, people reacted really interested and they wanted to know why and why do you speak so strangely and what is the dialect about and where are you from. So when they heard that I spoke Slovak but with a strange accent, they were curious to know who I am. So since like in every beginning of my conversation with people, it was like always the first step, and it was then really easy to get in flow and to speak with the people. And I was really interested. I was interested into the history of the city because I think that it's a really interesting history of this town. All the political changes, the regime changes, the different states actually, because Košice was part of different states and several times Košice was occupied, and I wanted to know how do the people feel, how do people live in a town which has so much political changes. I spoke to loads of people. I discovered places which I really didn't know, because all the years when I was small I came back to Košice. Every summer I stayed for about 2 weeks in Košice, and then I just went from one grandmother to the other and I got some cakes, and but I didn't really discover the town and the subcultural or the cultural scene, or I never met really young people in Košice. Through the scholarship of the Deutsches Kulturforum, I got really the chance to discover my birth town and to discover the history and to get to know the people in their everyday life. Due to the fact that my family live in the city center, I never went to all these suburbs, so I didn't really know how the everyday life looks like. I write articles on an internet blog. I write in German and then it's translated into Slovak. Some of the articles are also in English on the Košice Artists in Residence website. So I took loads of pictures. Sometimes I even took videos, like small clips, and I go also outside of Košice. In Košice they live also Ruthenians, and one young girl is actually a student here in Košice, and she invited me to the cultural festival of Mezilaborce. So I went to Mezilaborce and I also visited the museum of Andy Warhol, and I enjoyed the folkloric dance groups and the folkloric singing groups. I love the city where I live because Hamburg is really a great town. But here, due to the fact that the town is actually relatively small with 240,000 inhabitants, but still I do not feel in prison somehow, because it's it's interesting to live here, and people most of the times more spontaneous. They are less complicated. They laugh about themselves. They don't take themselves as serious as people I met in other countries. Maybe it's due to the fact that it's a little country. I don't really know, but yeah, the relations between the people, they are really important here. To be city writer of Košice, for me it was like one of the biggest chances I ever had, because this is just a great job, because you walk through a town, you discover a town, you discover people, and then you just write about it. I mean, I couldn't imagine a better job. I could do it my whole life, I think, because the city is so rich. You can. I still have a big list of all the topics I want to write about. So five months are really not enough to write about all the impressions in this town. When I could choose, I would continue writing, definitely.